Now on Brooklyn News Live, we will take you live to Provo, Utah, coming up in just moments as a lunch recess is in place in the alleged Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson case, where a preliminary hearing is happening today. We'll be live all morning for it. We're going to bring you up to date what happened there. We've got some lengthy video to show you as video interview, a previously recorded interview with his roommate, Lance Twiggs, was released today in court. We're going to bring you that coming up here in just a few moments. And the latest for the Senate hopeful candidate, now former Senate hopeful candidate, Graham Plattner. He is now dropped out of the race. We have what you need to know. And of course, we're going to take you live right now in Brooklyn and bring you your forecast. That's all coming up right now on Brooklyn News Live.
It's time for all the news you need and more. Brooklyn News Live starts right now.
And thank you for joining us. I'm Jackson Mitchell. This is Brooklyn News Live. Time now, 2:02 p.m. Central Time. And again, it's 3:03 over on the East Coast and 12:03 on the West Coast. It's Thursday, July 9th, 2026, and it is good to be with you. We got a lot of headlines to get to. We do want to start first with the latest in the preliminary hearings for accused Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson. Of course, he was in court today, and at 2:25 p.m. Central Time, in the middle of our show, we expect that hearing to get back underway, and we will take you live into the hearing. Today, the interview with the former roommate, I should say, of Tyler Robinson, Lance Twiggs, was played live in court. Pieces of it redacted. It started out early in the morning with lots of arguments on redactions with this interview, and after two morning breaks, there was that interview that was played. The judge would later rule that after yesterday's order of redactions that there would need more redactions, and we are still working on getting the video in for you. I believe we might have it now to show it to you. This is again going to be today, that was released in court with the interview. Please stand by with us. I believe we have it now for you. Give me just a moment. We also want to note that today there were texts with Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs released. Of course, they were believed to have been in a relationship of some sort. So there you go. There's some of those messages that were also revealed in court. I now want to play that interview for you that was released. It is quite lengthy. This is from earlier today on a Brooklyn News special report. I believe we now have it. Let's take you live there and listen in.
Is to use your statement here instead of your testimony at a preliminary hearing. Understand that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so in order to do that, I need to place you under oath and also give you an admonition about false statements, okay? First, you do solemnly swear or affirm that the evidence you shall give in this issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
I also need to notify you that you are notified that statements you are about to make may be presented to a magistrate or a judge in lieu of your sworn testimony at a preliminary examination. Any false statement you make and that you do not believe to be true may subject you to criminal punishment as a Class A misdemeanor. You understand that?
Yes.
It potentially could be used as for punishment as a higher offense as obstruction of justice. In addition, I just want to make sure that our recording here is clear that you've also been given a federal agreement and a state agreement granting you immunity from prosecution for materials that you discuss now. Do you understand that? Mm-hmm. Okay. First, we're going to cover some of the things that you've already talked about, but to make it as part of this record. First, what's your name?
Full name with middle name or just first and last?
First and last is fine.
Okay, my name is Lance Twiggs.
And do you know Tyler Robinson?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
And this is the same Tyler Robinson that's been charged with the shooting of Charlie Kirk?
Yes.
And would you say when you first met Tyler?
I think it was 2023. I've known him longer than that, though. That was, I think, the first time I met him in person.
Okay.
Okay.
And will you describe your relationship with Tyler when you first met him anyway?
When I first met him, I didn't know him super well. He was just a new roommate, so I knew he knew my friend group, and I knew he liked playing games, but that's about it when we first, when he first moved in.
Okay. Before we go on, I realized my mic was muted at the outset. Was yours on? Your microphone? Okay. I'm going to repeat those admonitions just to make sure we got it recorded. Okay, so again, I placed you under oath. Just to make a record, I'm going to do it again. You do solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give in this issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
And again, I'm going to give you the false statement admonition.
Sorry, hold on. If they're saying that it's echoing, so
I think this one's mic is on.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, you don't all mute my mic.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so we should be good. All right. Is that mic on?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Sorry.
All right, okay, sorry about that interruption. All right, so you said when you first met you were roommates?
Yeah.
Okay. And then at some point, your relationship progressed to something more than just roommates, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
When was that?
I think we started dating 2 or 3 months after he moved in.
Okay. And where did you live at that time?
St. George, in an apartment complex.
And is that apartment the same place you lived on September 10th?
Yes.
When you lived there with Tyler, were you in the same room? Did you live in the same room or different rooms?
No, separate rooms.
And at that time, let's say September of 2025, what were you doing with your life? Were you working, school?
I was working. I was doing like bathtub and shower repair and stuff in new construction.
Okay. How about Tyler?
I think he was both working. I think he was working for an electrician company then, and he was also in a trade school for being I don't know, higher ranking electrician. I'm not sure how the trade system works for that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he was both.
What was his typical work day like?
I think he'd leave around 7 generally and get back around 3 to 4, depending on where the job was and how long it was for the day. And then on certain days of the week during school, semesters, he would then later in the day, I think around 5 or 6, go to school. So, yeah.
Okay. Let's jump to September 10th. Did he spend the night in the apartment the night of September 9th into September 10th?
Into September 10th. Yeah, he did. Yes.
Do you know when he left the apartment on September 10th?
I don't know an exact time. I just know he left early. I heard him leaving, and he just said he had a long drive to work that day, so he was leaving early.
Okay, so early. Any guess as to what when that was?
I don't know. I would have thought it was 5 a.m. because that's when an early work day was for him, but it was probably more like 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna have him spit out his gum just to make sure that
I can do that.
your tissue right in front of your laptop.
Oh, here you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so what time did you get up on September 10th?
Probably 12 to 1 p.m.
You didn't have to work that day?
No.
And did you hear from Tyler? Did he call or text you before then?
No, he sent that message in the group chat I mentioned, but he didn't message me directly at all that day.
Okay. When did you first hear from him on September 10th?
It was at 11 o'clock with that, like, automated message.
Okay, 11 p.m.
Yeah.
So again, this is kind of raw video. There are several redactions in this video, so you're seeing they'll kind of skip through it. This was again just video directly from the live court feed that we pulled from our special report from earlier today. So we're gonna wait for it to resume. I believe the next part it's just audio and no video here. On the other side of this video, we have a lot of analysis to break down and essentially just the takeaways from this interview.
He asks you here, remember how I was engraving bullets? Was he engraving bullets before this?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when, but he had said he was planning to go hunting with his family. And he asked me for if we had a Dremel because he said he wanted to engrave messages on bullets. And I just told him where our Dremel was and told him to make sure he doesn't set off a bullet on accident in the house. But I didn't really think about it until then.
How long before September 10th was this that he asked about the Dremel?
I don't remember because he'd been talking about the hunting/camping trip for a couple months, but I don't remember when he was specifically asking to engrave the bullets. So
are we talking like a year before?
Oh no, not that long. It would have been I'd say at most a month before this was when he was asking.
Okay. Right. You talked about the note that he left. I want to bring this up, and I should say that these text messages that we've been looking at here are Bates number 54. Okay, the notes have been titled 16.3 with a note, and this is Bates number 58. Do you recognize that on the screen there?
Yeah.
What do you recognize it as?
That was the note under his keyboard that he was referring to in the first text of that chain.
Okay, so where did you find this?
On his desk underneath his computer keyboard.
And I assume you read it.
Yeah.
And then what did you do with it after you read it?
I believe I just put it back down on the desk after I took a picture of it.
Okay. And again, the time you read it was probably around 11 o'clock or so on the 10th.
Yes.
The night of September 10th.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And did you ever see that again after you placed it back on his desk?
No, I don't think I did.
And that was a desk in his bedroom?
Yes.
And that's a separate bedroom than your bedroom?
Yeah.
And now I want to go to what's been titled 16.2. And do you recognize this series of messages here?
Yeah, that was the server of his friend that I was mentioning.
Okay, and this is your phone again?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you recognize it because the big crack up at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a server. Is this Discord?
Yeah, this is Discord.
And who are members of this server? I don't want names, just generally. Who are these people? Members of
this is his friend group. They play D&D together every week.
Okay. And I just want to scroll through this to make sure that you get a chance to take a look at it. Ready to go to the next page?
Mm-hmm. Or yes.
So Tyler Icom, who's that?
That's Tyler Robinson.
And these other people are just others that are members of the server?
Yes.
Jug, Barnaby, Marina, DM.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, DM means Dungeon Master. So these are most of them are names they're using in the in the game they're playing currently.
Got it. Yeah, it looks like the last text from Tyler looks like it's 8 p.m. And do you know what day this would have been? 8 p.m. on the 10th or the 11th?
I would think that would be the 11th. Because at least I think so, because I don't think on the 10th that he messaged anyone before me at like 11. So.
And he turned himself in on the 11th, right?
I thought so, yeah.
So again, we're just going to go through this so that we have a record of the messages. Is that an accurate recording of that thread?
To my knowledge, yes.
And that was sent, looks like between September 10th and September 12th. Looks like the last day on this is September 12th. Screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so again, those messages covered from September 10th to the evening of September 11th. Now, September 11th, what time did you see Tyler on September 11th?
Yes.
When did you first see him on September 11th? So this is the day after the shooting?
Yeah, I saw him when I woke up. Like I said, he was up and around doing a lot of stuff around the house. And then I think I saw him after that message where I said I'll come home and say I'm doing laundry, because I didn't want him going to my parents' house right then when he said there was probably cops outside. So I went back home, and it was just him there, and I said bye to him, and then he drove off. So I just went back to my parents' house.
Alrighty, we're just going to interrupt the feed here. Again, this is raw feed from the court earlier today. We're just going to interrupt here so we have time to kind of break down what we just heard. And we're going to keep our eyes peeled toward this Provo, Utah courtroom, because we will take you there live as soon as this hearing picks back up, which we expect it will come up here in just about 5 minutes. So notably, that you didn't hear, the part you didn't hear was that Twiggs, he noted that Robinson had talked about politics, but that Twiggs, he said that he wasn't big into politics, so he wasn't a big contributor to this conversation. Therefore, he believed that is why it kind of likely didn't come up often in their conversations. Now, Twiggs also noted that he never heard Robinson talk about Charlie Kirk. Notably, again, the need to engrave bullets, the Dremel who was talked about for a hunting trip and that he wanted to engrave bullets. Of course, it has been released that there were engravings in the bullets found at the scene of the killing of Charlie Kirk. Now, there was a note right at 11 p.m. Of course, this was after the killing of Charlie Kirk. That was on September 10th. It was left under the keyboard. The friends... We also know there was a Discord server involved in all of this as well. And that there were conversations in there. But what is notable here is that there are specific text messages that were released today. And I actually want to play some video of those text messages that were released today in court that show Robinson talking about the killing of Charlie Kirk and appearing to say that he admitting to doing it. Now, this is all allegedly here. Put that word in front of everything I'm saying. Twig said Robinson admitted to the killing of Kirk, and then he says without 100% because of the camera quality, because of some video we brought to you yesterday that was revealed from that parking garage. He says without 100% he believes that in that video it shows Tyler Robinson, because he was shown the video and he said he believes it specifically shows Tyler Robinson, but says due to the camera quality, that is without 100% certainty. So these text messages that were revealed as well were starking. They were blunt and very deliberate from when you talk about the language that Tyler Robinson used here. But again, very, very interesting remarks coming from Tyler Robinson, and today in court as well from Lance Twiggs. Okay, we're going to sneak in a quick break because we have another big political story we want to get to. We want to get to on Graham Plattner. He has officially dropped out of the race. We have the video of him announcing that he's dropping out of the race, plus what the future of this race could look like when we come back. You're watching Brooklyn News Live. Welcome back into Brooklyn News Live. We're continuing standing by for the cameras to pick back up in the Provo, Utah courtroom, where we'll take you to the hearing with Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, coming up here in just a few moments. We do want to get to this story right now, another developing story that we are following after a report from Politico that an ex-girlfriend claimed, I want to know if viewer discretion is advised here, that Graham Plattner raped her and forcefully had sex with her. We are now learning that he has dropped out of the race. This comes after a video he released earlier this week saying that he was considering his next options, essentially opening the door for dropping out. He has since jumped down in a video released late yesterday. We want to play it for you. Take a listen.
Hey everyone, it's Graham Plattner here. I think as many of you know, over the past couple days, I have faced some very serious allegations, and I just want to make it clear, this is all false. The things that have been claimed did not happen. It's not real. It has placed an immense amount of weight on me as I think about what needs to happen now. Amy and I are regular people. We were not looking for this experience. We were not looking to get into politics. We had no desire to run for office. I just want you to think about like what you would do as a regular person in a position where a much larger world, large forces, were working against you personally to accuse you of the worst thing that a person could do, and it was not remotely true. I learned about this through press inquiries, with no time to truly respond, no time for investigations before a corporate media system and the political establishment got to act as judge, jury, and executioner. Accusations are supposed to be the beginning of things, not the end. I think it's really important to understand why this is happening in the timeline, why this is happening right now. Much like October, when the first attack started, much like the news that was created the week before the primary, there is a reason that this is happening now. I only have until July 13th until I am officially the nominee. This was the last week to try to get me off of the ballot. And that's why this is occurring. It's not the false allegations, though, that have brought us to where we are. It's the fact that they are being used by the political establishment to put structural pressure on us. We live in a political system that is not built for normal people. It is a system that is built structurally to make sure that movements like ours cannot flourish. That if they begin to succeed, they can be crushed. What we have accomplished here, you made possible. The people of Maine, the volunteers, the voters, the grassroots donors, and I have all the faith in the world that we could win if we could continue to harness that. But the brutal political reality is that they are going to take everything away from us. Those in power who have the ability to do so are using these allegations as an excuse to take away all of the things that we need to run a campaign. We are going to lose our ability to fundraise. We are going to lose our ability to access voter data. We are going to lose all of the things that any campaign needs on the basic level simply to function. Larger organizations, the national level party, the bigger donor networks, they have all committed to spending no money in this race if I'm in it. They would rather see Susan Collins.
Alrighty, so the video goes for around over 10 minutes long. Again, the video released to Graham Plattner's X page. He blamed the issue on media, saying it's only because it is his last week before he becomes the official candidate in this race. Of course, this is a developing story that we are following right now. We do want to take you to this post. This is from Maine Democrats on X, who say, quote, "Today, the Maine Democratic primary held a meeting with over 100 state committee members who voted to hold a nominating convention to choose a new nominee if there's a vacancy to fill." Now, this was before he dropped out, but again, still notable here. "We will announce the full timeline details or how the nomination process will move forward, information about how to participate, and requirements for candidates soon. We will keep the public informed through the process. Transparency is the utmost importance." Sorry, you guys, it's really far away on my screen here. I'm trying to read it to you. That second part says, "There is an unprecedented amount of energy and enthusiasm among Maine Democrats, driven in part by many of the dedicated volunteers and supporters who were inspired by Graham Plattner's campaign. We look forward to coming together and harnessing that energy around our new nominee as we work to defeat Susan Collins in November." Now, that was a statement from Charlie Dingman, the chair, and MK Schlusker, the vice chair, and Devin Murphy Anderson, the executive director of the Maine Democrats there. That decision coming there. So a big story to monitor, a big story that we've been talking about for the last few days. Again, Graham Plattner dropping out of the race after new allegations were made against him. Alrighty, we're going to sneak in a quick break as we continue to stand by for the hearing to begin out of that courtroom there in Provo, Utah. We've got more coming up right here on Brookland News Live. Alrighty, let's get you right now in Brooklyn. A live look there at Highway 49 and School Street. Traffic a little backed up if you look at that far left side of your screen there down School Street. Maybe the light's going to turn red, still green there. Anyways, weather still looking the same. I think we've talked about over and over. I mean, these showers are just not going to go away. These scattered thunderstorms throughout the next few days. And I mean, I pointed it out yesterday. It's so interesting that, a few weeks ago, we were talking about the historical drought that we were facing, and now we're seeing scattered showers almost every day. As we go into tonight, scattered showers remain, low of 77. Sun still out right now. It's warm still. By Friday, high of 93, low of 75. Scattered thunderstorms continue all the way into Saturday. High of 91, low of 74. I mean, again, the drought that we were facing, and now it seems as each and every day we're getting a little bit of rain, at least somewhere across northeast Arkansas. So we are continuing to follow your forecast and the chance of showers that will continue into the evening. Want to take you live right now out to Provo, Utah, where we are standing by for the hearing to resume once again. When it does, we've got the live feed pulled up for you, and we will take you there live. Again, it could resume at any moment here. We're going to sneak in a really, really quick commercial break here, and then we'll be right back on the other side with more of the big stories making headlines of today. Alrighty, and we are back with day 4 of the preliminary hearing is continuing after a lunch break. Let's take you live there right now and begin listening in.
Right, Sergeant, if you'd like to come forward, you're still under oath from your previous testimony from the previous day. So if you'd just like to come up to the witness stand, be seated to your left. Behind the monitor should be a bottle of water. After you're situated, if you wouldn't mind just pulling that microphone toward you to ensure that the audio is picked up. Mr. McBride, your witness.
Sergeant Falmuina, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We briefly covered some of your involvement in this case the other day. I want to return back to your initial assignment to this case. When were you first assigned to go to the campus of Utah Valley University?
On September 10th of 2025.
What time did you get that assignment?
I believe it was approximately 1:30 p.m.
And where were you when you received that assignment?
I was at a headquarters office in Salt Lake.
And did you go directly down to the campus?
Yes, I did.
And will you describe what you're seeing as you arrived there?
Yes, when I arrived there, I actually arrived onto or near the south end of campus, and that's where I saw multiple police cars as well as multiple officers from various agencies. Then I was asked to respond to our command post, which was in the Fugal building there.
And the Fugal building, we've had some testimony about this, but is that just to the south of the courtyard?
Yes, that is.
And were you there while officers were securing campus?
Yes, I was.
And do you know generally how that was done?
I don't know the specifics, but I do know that officers were canvassing the area, trying to look for a suspect, but also trying to see if anyone else was injured, and then making sure that the scene was secure and that no unauthorized people were allowed in.
And I think you testified earlier. What was your primary assignment?
My primary assignment at the campus, as well as throughout the case, was to oversee the crime scenes as well as the physical evidence.
Before you could do your work on the crime scenes, did the campus have to become secure?
Yes, it did.
And did that involve making sure there was no active shooter on campus?
Yes.
And did that involve officers searching buildings and clearing buildings throughout campus?
Yes.
You mentioned that were there multiple areas that were processed by you and other crime scene analysts in this case?
Yes, there was. Would you like me to go over them?
Let me direct you to a few of them. Well, yes, please mention the scenes.
Yeah, so one scene was a courtyard area, or I guess what we could also refer to as the amphitheater where the event took place. The other scene would have been the Fulton Library, where there were 2 bus stops. And then another would have been the wooded area. And then the last one would have been the Lolosi Center building, as well as the ground below.
All right, let's start with the rooftop. What was who was assigned to process the rooftop area?
The team that was assigned to process that was the Utah Bureau of Forensic Services, or also known as our state crime lab.
And generally, what does processing an area involve?
Processing includes documentation, sketching, as well as taking photographs, marking, as well as labeling evidence, and then determining how to package them properly, as well as also just trying to ID anything probative.
On the rooftop was evidence found?
Yes.
What types of evidence were found on the rooftop?
One item of evidence that was found was a screwdriver. Another one would have been what we believe was the shooter's perch. That was determined that was easy to see at night. Using oblique lighting, we could see disturbances in the gravel on the rooftop. And then on the northeast edge, our team also found some swipes on the ledge of that rooftop that was also collected.
Okay, so northeast ledge, and is this the dropping off point?
Yes, it is.
You said swipes. What does that mean, swipes?
Swipes is, I would describe it as kind of hand marks or any type of marks that is left by something that causes some type of disturbance.
Okay, and where on the ledge were those located?
Those were located right on the edge of that right on the edge of that rooftop. And then right below, we also had some other swipes as well as some other impressions. And then below that was a glass window where we also located some latent prints.
Okay, I want to return to what you've referred to as the perch, the sniper position. Were measurements taken from that sniper position to the tent where Charlie Kirk was seated?
Yes.
Do you know the distance?
Yeah, so the distance from the perch area directly to the tent where Mr. Kirk was sitting was approximately 415 feet. If you break it down, so from the perch to the tent, you're looking at it basically like this. And this is the perch, and this is the tent.
And now you're describing, I'm sorry, I have to make a record. You're describing an angle, a slope downward from the perch to the location of the tent. Is that accurate?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
Yeah, so the angle, so again, the distance, the perch to the tent was approximately 415 feet. If you think about it, or without taking into account the elevation drop, it was actually 410 feet, so just horizontal straight across. And then the elevation difference between that is approximately 68 feet.
Okay, 410 feet from the perch to the tent with a 68-foot vertical drop. Is
Yes.
that right? On the rooftop, were shoe impressions found on the rooftop?
Yes, there was.
Did those who processed that area of the crime scene collect the latent prints and the shoe impressions that you've talked about?
Yes, they did.
And this is a good point to read a stipulation into the record.
All right.
The language of this has been agreed upon by the parties. The parties stipulate that investigators at the crime scene observed latent fingerprints and a palm print on a glass window near the area where the individual landed when the individual jumped from the rooftop of the Low-C Center at UVU. SBI fingerprint examiner Elisa Farmer examined images of these latent fingerprints and the palm print and determined that only 3 of the latent prints, 11B, 11C, and 11D, were of comparable or of poor comparable value. She excluded Tyler Robinson as the source of any of these 3 latent prints. Ms. Farmer reviewed other prints on the window and found that they did not have adequate value for comparison. Subsequent examinations of these 3 latent or actual latent prints by the FBI were inconclusive. That area that was described in that stipulation, is that the area in the glass window that you're talking about?
Yes, that is.
That's on the northeast corner of the Low-C Center?
Yes.
And that's the area where we see in a video an individual drop from the roof?
Yes.
I want to move on to another area, the courtyard. First, will you describe what that area of the crime scene looked like?
Yeah, so when I arrived on scene, you have different steps. I believe there were maybe like five or six, covered in grass. When I was there, there were personal belongings spread throughout. There was a tent towards the west end of that courtyard area, as well as some banners and some barriers as well.
Was that area processed for evidence as well?
Yes, it was.
What was done to process that area?
Photography, as well as just examining the tent area to see if there's anything there.
And who is assigned to process the courtyard area?
The FBI.
I want to take you to another area, a wooded area. Was there a wooded area that was processed as well?
Yes, there was.
Will you describe, first off, where that area is?
Yes, so this area is located northeast of the Low-C Center building, and it is across from Campus Drive.
Your Honor, could we publish Exhibit 35, please?
Yes.
And if I may approach the witness, I'll put up the hard copy of this exhibit as well.
All right.
Can we publish the oh, thank you. All right, on the screen in front of you, will you take a look at Exhibit 35?
Yes.
Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
Will you take a moment to orient yourself on that map and tell me when you've found the relevant points that help you understand what this map is of?
Yes.
Do you see the courtyard on that map?
Yes, I do.
Kimberly, can you zoom in to the courtyard area, kind of the center of the... There's a pointer on the screen. Is that the courtyard?
Yes, that is.
All right, now the Low-C Center, will you describe, well, let's jump to the wooded area. Where is the wooded area that you're talking about, seeing that was processed?
Yep, the wooded area, if you go from the courtyard and you go northeast, you're going to come across this big parking lot. And then if you just go directly north to that.
Okay, at this point, it might be easiest for you to actually indicate on the physical map. If you don't mind just standing up, give you a handheld mic here.
Yes, so the wooded area is approximately right here in this area.
Okay, so just to make a record of the area, on the northern, I guess I'll say, and north is up on this map, is that right?
Yes.
Do you know where Campus Drive is?
Yes, Campus Drive is this road that winds right along here.
Okay, and so that's kind of the windy road that begins in the upper left-hand corner of the exhibit and winds down through the center of the map and kind of exits to the middle right side of the map. Is that right?
Yes.
And the wooded area, where is it in relation to the Campus Drive?
It is north of Campus Drive.
Okay, kind of in that, probably the center right of the map. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Will you describe, first off, what is on the south side across the street from the wooded area?
Yeah, so on the south side of the south side of the wooded area, we have the computer science building, which is to, I guess, east. And then we have a parking structure, and we have a walkway along here in between that connects the computer science building and the Lolosi Center building. And then right onto the southwest of the parking lot area is going to be the Lolosi Center building.
Okay. Now, you referred to the area across the street from the wooded area as a parking structure. That's a parking lot, right?
I'm sorry.
And there is a parking structure on campus, correct?
Yes, there is.
But that's different than the parking lot you just mentioned.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Back to the wooded area. What was found? Was anything found in the wooded area of evidentiary value? You can sit down. Thank you. You can take that.
May you repeat your question?
Was anything of evidentiary value found in the wooded area?
Yes, in the wooded area, a right rifle that was wrapped in a dark colored towel was found there.
And how did you learn about that?
I found that out because just a little bit before 6 p.m. that day, I received a call from Utah County Sheriff's Office, who was tasked with searching that area.
Do you know why they searched that area in the first place?
Yeah, so they searched that area because I received a video that was from the UVU security footage. This was received by our command post on scene, and it showed who we believe was the shooter on the rooftop run from the southwest corner all the way to the northeast corner, jump down, and then continue to the northeast side of that campus, and then cross the street to Campus Drive, and then the suspect was out of camera's view after that.
Okay, so he ran basically toward and into that wooded area.
Yes.
All right. What were you told from the sheriff's office?
I was told that they found a gun, and from there I asked them to hold the scene, and that myself and FBI ERT team lead, Special Agent Kamak, would be en route.
Okay. FBI ERT, FBI Evidence Response Team, right?
Yes.
All right. Did you go to that area?
Yes, I did.
Did you observe the weapon?
Yes.
Will you describe what you saw?
Yep. What I saw was a rifle that was, or at the time before even having removed it, we found, or in the bushes, we found all you could really see was just a dark towel there. So pictures were taken of that, and then eventually the gun or the towel was removed, and then once we removed the towel from the bushes is when we uncovered that the towel was actually used to wrap the gun in.
Have you reviewed State's Exhibits 10, 10.1, 10.2, and 10.3? Do you remember reviewing these?
Yes.
And are they accurate photographs of the weapon when it was recovered and shortly thereafter?
Yes.
I move the admission of State's Exhibits 10, 10.1, 10.2, and 10.3.
Defense?
No additional objections.
All right, and as it relates to publication, if any?
Yes, I would ask that these be published at all three levels.
All right, any input, Mr. Burt?
Same objections.
All right, I'll note the standing objections from defense. Those are overruled. And 10.10, 10.1, 10.2, 10.3 are admitted into evidence and may be published both in the courtroom and through the use of the camera.
If we can please publish number 10, thank you. You have in front of you on the screen Plaintiff's Exhibit 10. Will you describe what we're looking at here?
Yes, what we are looking at here is actually the bushes where the dark colored towel and the gun were found. You can kind of see the dark colored towel towards the right-hand side of the screen in the middle, right middle.
Kimberly, can you zoom into that area, please? All right, is this a better view of the towel?
Yes, it is.
If we can go to Exhibit 10.1. Will you describe what we're looking at in Exhibit 10.1?
Yes, this is a mid-range shot of, again, the towel that was used, or of the towel and within the bushes.
All right. When this was found and you arrived on scene, what happened with that weapon?
We moved it from the bushes, or say FBI Special Agent Kamak moved it from the bushes. We then placed it on a cardboard box, took pictures of it, and then we removed the towel, packaged the towel separately, took additional pictures of the gun, and then rendered it safe on scene.
Okay, I'll ask you about that more in a minute, but let's go to number 10.2. Will you describe what we see here?
Yeah, so what you see here now is the dark colored towel and the rifle that is in the towel, and it is in a cardboard box.
Why is the towel still around the gun?
We wanted to document as to how it was found.
All right, let's go to 10.3. Is this the rifle?
Yes, it is.
You described making the rifle safe. Will you describe what that is?
Yeah, so what that is that we ensure that there isn't anything in the chamber and that there's no other cartridges in the gun that would have it go off. So to do that, because it is a bolt action gun, we would have to manipulate the bolt or the lever back, and then from there see if anything was in the chamber, and then I'll say carefully remove anything that was in the chamber and below it.
All right, what is the difference between a bolt action and an auto ejecting gun?
Yep. A bolt action is one where the user actually has to manipulate the bolt. So they would actually have to turn, or they would actually have to pull it back and forward to, whether it be to load it, lock it, as well as extract anything that's in it. Unlike a semi-auto gun, that is one, every single time you pull the trigger, a bullet will be fired, and then from there, a casing will be extracted out, as well as a new cartridge will then be automatically fed into the chamber.
So if you shoot a bolt action rifle, does that spent shell casing automatically exit the gun?
No, it does not. It will stay in there until the person that is handling the gun actually removes the bolt, or actually pulls the bolt back, and then the casing will be extracted out.
Were you present when this weapon was made safe?
Yes, I was.
Will you describe what was found when that happened?
Yeah, so when we rendered the gun safe, we found in it, when we removed the bolt back, we found one 30-06 cartridge case, or I should say a fired cartridge case, and we also found 3 unfired cartridges, all with engravings on them.
Okay. I want to make sure we understand the language you're using. When you say cartridge case and you say cartridge, what do you mean?
Yeah. So a cartridge is basically the round itself, right? The whole round. And the round consists of the cartridge case, and then the powder, and then the bullet on top. So the cartridge case, the term is used for something that has been fired already. A cartridge is an unfired round.
Okay. Cartridge is the unfired round that still has the bullet, the powder, and all that.
Yes.
Cartridge case is the fired, is a round that has been fired, and it's just the empty brass casing. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Was there any, so there was, I just want to make sure I understand, a fired cartridge case and 3 unfired cartridges?
Yes.
Was there anything distinctive about these items?
All 4 of them had engravings on them.
Did you observe those engravings?
Yes, I did.
Did you observe them right there on scene?
Yes, I did.
And what was done with, let's talk about each of those things. First, the towel. What was done with the towel?
The towel was packaged and then it was eventually provided to the FBI.
What was done with the firearm?
The firearm was also packaged and then provided to the FBI as well.
Did the firearm go to the FBI or the ATF?
Oh, sorry, correction. It went to the FBI, and then to be in their custody, and then it was then sent to the ATF lab.
Okay. And the rounds, the cartridge and cartridge cases,
Yep.
the cartridges and cartridge case.
Yes, all those were packaged, originally provided to the FBI, then was sent to the ATF lab.
Right? And were each of those items tested?
Yes, they were.
And in the testing, were they photographed?
Yes.
It's exhibits 19 through 22.
Mr. Burt.
Additional objections.
All right, I'll note the standing objections. Those objections overruled, and 19, 20, 21, and 22 are admitted. And as to publication, Mr. McBride.
I would move to publish these exhibits at all 3 levels.
All right, any further objection from,
No further objections.
thank you. Again, I note the standing objections as are overruled. They may be published both in the courtroom and captured by the media camera.
Let us start with exhibit 19, please. What are we looking at here in exhibit 19?
This is the cartridge case that was recovered from the gun.
And what position was this in the gun?
This was this is what was in the chamber.
Okay. And the chamber meaning that's where a cartridge is before or when it is fired, correct?
Yes.
Do you notice an inscription or an etching on this cartridge case?
Yes, I do.
Will you read what that says?
Yes. Notices bulge.
And if we can go down to page 2 of the exhibit, will you read what this says?
OWO, what's
And to page 3,
this?
and question mark, correct?
Yes, question mark.
All right, if we go to State's Exhibit 20. Is this a photograph of one of the cartridges that was found in the gun?
Yes, it is.
And what are we looking at here in this view of page 1 on Exhibit 20?
This is the head stamp of it, and it says it is according to the head stamp, it is a Remington 30-06 Springfield.
Is that a different caliber than a .223 round?
Yes, it is.
Will you look at page 2 of Exhibit 20? Will you read the markings here?
A fascist.
And page 3?
Catch.
And page 4?
Up arrow, right arrow, down arrow, down arrow, down arrow.
All right, let's go to Exhibit 21. And was this another round that was found in the gun?
Yes.
Will you read the inscription here?
O Bella Chow.
Page 2.
Chow Chow.
All right, let's go to Exhibit 22. Another round that was found from the gun, correct?
Yes.
Will you please read the letters here?
If you read.
Page 2.
This, comma, your, or correction, this, comma, you are
Page 3.
gay.
And page 4.
LMAO.
All right, after processing the scenes there at Utah Valley University in Orem, did you go to St. George?
Yes, I did.
And what was your role in St. George?
My role was overseeing the execution of the search warrants at both Mr. Robinson's residence as well as his parents' residence.
And we've had testimony that Mr. Robinson was arrested there. Was he fingerprinted and his DNA taken?
They were actually taken at the Utah County Sheriff's Office jail.
After he was transported to
Yes.
Utah County? Okay, you said that there was, were items of evidence collected from him after he was arrested?
Yes, there was.
From his person? What were those things?
They were his clothing that he was wearing at the time of his arrest, to include shirts, pants, underwear, as well as shoes and anything that were in his pockets.
Do you remember what tops he had on?
I believe it was a maroon top.
And was there any other top layer that was collected that you recall?
I don't recall.
Okay. Let's go to, you said there were a couple of homes that were searched there, is that right?
Yes.
Whose homes was that?
One of them was where Mr. Robinson and Mr. Twiggs resided, and the other was Robinson's parents' residence.
I want to ask you about the defendant's home. What items will you describe some of the items that were collected from that home?
Yep. Some items collected in that home were a Dremel tool and its bits container, as well as two Remington boxes of 30-06 ammunition, as well as some 30-06 cartridge cases, and a handful of long guns or rifles, a revolver, as well as a burned paper.
All right, I want to ask you about clothing as well. Was any clothing collected from the townhome?
Yes, there was.
How about shoes?
Yes.
What kind of shoes?
Two shoes were collected from the home. One was a Converse shoes, gray in color with white laces, I believe a size 10.5. And then another Converse shoes that were also gray, but had gray laces instead, but were of a different size that I can't remember.
I think you said that you collected boxes of ammunition. Do you remember what caliber that ammunition was?
Yes, there are a handful, but the one that I recall was 30-06.
And you also said you found some cartridge cases. Do you remember what caliber those cartridge cases were?
Yes, those were also 30-06.
If we can display just to the witness Exhibit 23. Do you recognize Plaintiff's Exhibit 23?
Yes, I do.
And is that an accurate photograph of the cartridge casings and some of the bullets that you found?
Yes.
I would move the admission of Plaintiff's Exhibit 23.
Mr. Burt?
No further objections, Your Honor.
All right, I'll note the standing objections by defense. Overrule those objections and admit into evidence State's Exhibit 23 as to publication, Mr. McBride.
I would move to publish at all 3 levels.
All right, it is published to the courtroom as well as maybe broadcast via the camera.
As that's coming up, where did you find these?
I found these in what we would consider the spare bedroom, right next to Tyler's bedroom, on top of a safe.
How do you know which bedroom was Tyler's bedroom?
We determined that based off of some documents we found in what we believe was Tyler's bedroom, such as mail that was addressed to him, as well as some school documents as well.
And again, in relation to, will you describe the layout of the house in that area?
Yep, so this was on the second floor. As you're coming up the stairs, if you turn the left up the stairs, you're going to run into 2 bedrooms, and that is on the south end of that residence. The southeast bedroom would be Tyler's, and then the southwest would be the spare bedroom. Again, if you go back to the stairs and you make a right-hand turn, that is where you're now on the north end of that residence, and that is now Twig's bedroom.
And where were these items here in 23 found?
These were found on the southwest, or in the southwest bedroom, the one right next to Tyler's bedroom.
And you said on top of a safe?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Will you describe what we're looking at in Exhibit 23?
Exhibit 23 are the 5 cartridge casings we found on top of the safe. all were 30-06 Springfield caliber, and one of them had an engraving that said test shot on it.
You've talked about Springfield, Remington. Are these 30-06s? Are they the same type of round as was found in the gun?
Yes.
All right. Did you find any 30-06 weapons in that house?
No, we did not.
All right. Did you search the closet on the first floor?
Yes, I did.
What did you find in the closet?
In the closet, we found on the ground some shooting targets with perforations in it, as well as on the shelf, we found a Dremel tool with bits container.
All right, a Dremel tool with bits. What is a Dremel tool?
It's basically like a handheld device where you can make etchings or engravings on things.
What are bits?
Bits would be I guess like a sharp edge or something that would actually cause the etchings that you would put into the tool.
Is this kind of like a drill bit?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you do with the Dremel and the bits?
We photographed them in place, took additional pictures, packaged them, then sent them for testing to the ATF.
All right, you also mentioned targets. Were those targets photographed?
Yes, they were.
I want to show you on your end. Have you reviewed Plaintiff's Exhibit 25 before?
Yes.
And is that an accurate photograph of those targets that you found?
Yes.
I move the admission of State's Exhibit 25.
Mr. Burt?
No further objections?
All right, I note the standing objection, and those objections are overruled. Stacy,
Excuse me, sorry.
oh, well, did you want to, in regards to publication?
Yes, I'm so used to admission before publishing. I would move to publish those at all three levels.
Any further comment, Mr. Burt?
No further objections.
Again, all right, noting the standing objections, those are overruled. Stacy Exhibit 25 is admitted into evidence and may be published in the courtroom as well as captured by the media camera.
Will you describe what we're looking at here?
Yes, so these were shooting targets we found in the closet, and each of them have have perforations in them.
When you say perforations, what do you mean?
Holes in them.
Those holes consistent with?
Objection. Foundation on this opinion.
Mr. McBride, do you want to weigh in upon that objection?
No, I'll submit it. I'll lay foundation if the objection is sustained.
I'll sustain the objection.
All right. Holes. Have you ever shot a gun before?
Yes, I have.
When you hit a target, what happens to the target when it's hit with a bullet?
Hit with a bullet, there's holes in there, what we call perforations, because there's an entrance as well as an exit.
Looking at State's Exhibit 25, I'm going to ask the question that was objected to. You said there's perforations in those. Are those consistent with bullet holes?
Yes.
And I would ask you to describe where those perforations are there's three targets here, right?
Yes.
Let's look at the far right target first. Where are the perforations in relation to the bullseye?
They're all probably within the 7, 6, and 8 ring.
Is there a perforation up at the upper left-hand corner of that rightmost target?
Yes, there is.
Do any of those hit the bullseye?
No.
Okay, looking at the center target, will you describe where the perforations are in relation to the bullseye there?
It is closer, but still not it. Most of them are to the left of the bullseye in rings, let's say 9 and 8.
All right, and then the leftmost target, will you describe where the perforations are there?
Yep. The perforations are actually closer to the bullseye as well, actually one being in it.
All right, you described also collecting a burnt note. We can take down 25. Thank you. Will you describe where that note was found and what it looked like to you?
Yeah. The burn note was found in the trash can located in the kitchen. The way it looked like to me, it looked like, say you're at like a campfire and someone burns paper.
What was done with that?
That was also collected and that was sent to the FBI for analysis.
Was it photographed?
Yes, it was.
And have you reviewed State's Exhibit 24?
Yes.
Is that a photograph of the note?
Yes.
I move the admission of Plaintiff's Exhibit 24.
Mr. Burt?
No further objections.
All right, and to publication?
I move to publish at all 3 levels.
All right, I'm going to note the standing objection by defense, overrule those objections. And State's Exhibit 24 is admitted into evidence and may be published in the courtroom and may be captured by the media camera.
Do you see here on the screen Plaintiff's Exhibit 24?
Yes, I do.
It looks like as to the evidence tag, it's actually upside down. Is that right?
Yes.
Is there any, does it look like there's any writings on that note, on that burnt paper?
Yes.
Will you point that out for the judge where the writing is?
Yep.
And describe what you're pointing at, kind of the general location on the image?
Yeah. So the part that I'm pointing out is the paper that you can still see the lines in them, and as well as some handwriting as well to the edge, the left edge of that piece of paper.
All right. Have you also observed the image of a note that was recovered from Lance Twiggs' phone?
Yes.
And I'd like to show you side by side Exhibit 24. And there on the left, you see Exhibit, well, that's good. There on the left, we see Exhibit 24. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
And on the right, you see, excuse me, on the right is 24, on the left it's 16.
Let me stop you, Mr. McBride. I'm not sure, is this being broadcast?
Let's take that down.
All right.
Exhibit 24, thank you, Your Honor. Excuse me, Exhibit 16.3. I would move to publish Exhibit 16.3 and 24 side by side. I think they're currently on the council monitors.
So 16.3 has already been admitted.
And I don't remember the court's order if this was to be captured by electronic media or not.
No, it was not.
Okay.
Is that does that comport with defense's memory as well?
It does.
All right, so 16.3 was published to the courtroom, but not to be captured by the media. So
Very well.
as it's, and what is your request?
To comply with the court's order.
All right, so 16.3 and Exhibit 24 may be published side by side only to the courtroom itself, but not on to be captured by the camera.
Alrighty, so the mics have been muting, likely because they're discussing evidence that cannot be released in the public. That is just something that we have seen all day as we've been covering these hearings. We're going to stick with you until 3:25 here for an extended edition of Brookland News Live. As we are waiting for the audio to come back to us, I want to note that tomorrow we'll be live again at 10 a.m. for the final day of this preliminary hearing. It's only going to go for the morning and not the afternoon. And then it's unclear if we're going to get that ruling tomorrow or what things of that nature look like. So we're going to be following that for you. And then we'll have an earlier edition of Brookland News Live coming to you at 1 p.m. So big week there in Provo, Utah, but a big week throughout the entire United States, and we're going to bring you the news of the day coming up tomorrow at 1 p.m. But again, we'll be with you here for another, what is that? Let me do the math. 12 minutes. Sorry, I got to check. Sorry, guys, I wasn't thinking that hard in my head. 12 minutes. I'll be with you here for another 12 minutes here as we are standing by for... That is not 12 minutes. That is 7 minutes. Oh my gosh. We'll be with you here for another 7 minutes as we are waiting for the audio to come back here when it does. I mean, we're live, so we're here. Looks like they might be reviewing some evidence right now. You see the judge there looking at his computer screen. That could mean we're reviewing some evidence. Of course, we've seen several moments now where when evidence is reviewed that they have muted the audio, especially because, of course, it has been such a big argument when evidence when some pieces of evidence are put out, simply because of the fact that it the defense does not want really any of this shown in front of the media, saying essentially arguing that it violates the fair trial rights of Tyler Robinson. But of course,
acknowledging that the magistrate can weigh the evidence and is not weighing in on this evidence, solely admitting it. Well, it's already been admitted, but as it relates to the testimony, the court is going to overrule the objection and allow the testimony to be given. Again, whether the court accepts or doesn't accept that will be a determination made when determining probable cause.
Thank you. Do you see any consistencies that you're able to look at?
Alrighty, here we go again. The audio is muted once again. Okay, here's what we're just gonna wrap up about 5 minutes early here. I know we're just standing by for it to wrap up. We're just gonna wrap up our coverage a few moments early here as an argument about evidence is continuing there in the courtroom. I want to thank all of you for joining us throughout the last, how long? It's been a little over an hour and 20 minutes that we've been with you here on Brookland News Live, and the 3+ hours that we were with you earlier today. So lots of TV that we've been doing this week. I know I have not been doing a lot. I've been doing a lot of speaking, but it's not been like 3 hours of me speaking. It's 3 hours of listening into this live coverage. So that is going to wrap up our coverage for now. Remember, again, as we were just noting a few moments ago, you can join us coming up a little later in the day. I believe we have, one moment, you guys, I believe we are able to. Remember, you can join us coming up tomorrow at 10 a.m. for our continued coverage of the Tyler Robinson hearings. Tomorrow, as I again noted a few moments ago, is the last day. We'll likely hear more testimony, but we're also going to hear the closing arguments and what exactly is kind of this argument that the prosecution has enough evidence. So we're going to hear that tomorrow, coming up for you tomorrow morning, unless this is extended. I do want to note, comparing this to other hearings that I followed, this is probably the slowest moving one that I've covered in quite some time. So we'll see how things go here. In the meantime, though, remember, you can join us tomorrow as well at 1 p.m. Instead of 2 p.m., we're going to have an edition at 1 p.m. for Brookland News Live, and then we'll have our morning coverage of the trial. So 10 a.m. Central for the trial. It's not the trial, it's the preliminary hearings that determine whether he gets a trial. And then we'll be back at 1 p.m. for Brookland News Live, for Friday edition of Brookland News Live. In the meantime, thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and we will see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m.